Hi, everybody. I hope you can all hear me. I would like to welcome you again to our guide to industrial IoT. A few things before starting is some of you asked last time for the source code. That's being prepared at the moment. Whenever it's ready, it will be shared in the WhatsApp group, and the previous courses are now on our website. You can access them. We'll send you a link later and how to view them. And as for their certificates, they will be sent out as soon as they're prepared. Yes, thank you all for your time. I hope you enjoy this last session. Now I'd like to invite Mr. Bekawi to start.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, hello.
Okay. I'd like to thank you all for attending. Big thanks goes to the Syrian Society and the Syrian Society President for making this happen. Big thanks to Amina for this introduction. Big thanks to you all guys for taking the time to attend this workshop. In today's workshop, we are going to talk about industrial IoT, Internet of Things. We'll be using something called Mqtt and Node-RED, and those are at an industrial level. So okay, so an MQTT stands for Message Queuing Telemetry Transport. It is basically a publish subscribe messaging protocol designed for constrained devices such as our device. Actually it's not too powerful, the ESP8266, and for unreliable networks. It is ideal for machine-to-machine communication and also Internet of Things. It can be one-to-one, one-to-many, and many-to-one. What do I mean by that? Actually, we can have a single publisher publishing to many subscribers, and many subscribers subscribe to a single publisher, and then single publisher to single subscriber. The PubSub protocol actually is the same as the following figure. This is the publisher. It could be the one of the clients, and in this case it could be our ESP8266. This publisher is publishing to a topic A and a topic B. This handler, we will have a question mark in here till we come to that point later. But this question mark thingy will take the information, pass it to topic A, and pass it to topic B. And then we have the subscribers at the end. They are subscribed to topic A or both or only topic B. And they will get the information sent by this publisher. Then everything will be controlled by this question mark. So whenever the publisher sends a message to this topic, the subscriber can see this message whenever the message received to this topic. You can also have multiple subscribers at the same time subscribing to this topic. It is more like if you think of maybe a post office. Suppose that I am the publisher. I go to the post office and tell them save this item into box maybe 50, and I text someone by WhatsApp and tell him go to the post office, and tell them to give you the item in box 50. So I am being the publisher, and that guy is being the subscriber, and the question mark thingy is going to be our post office. So this is the MQTT system. Actually, that question mark is being the MQTT broker. It's basically a server that takes that handle everything in the system. For instance, this client is being the publisher sending sensor rotation data. The MQTT broker sends this to a database, save it somewhere, and keep it just for a small amount of time to give it to those subscribers, the subscribers being a laptop maybe with a specific program, taking also this information sent by the publisher, and also the same topic is going to be read by this second subscriber. Actually, the topic is what define um, the uh, the messages to be communicated. So for instance, if you use the sensor rotation in here, you will send this. This is actually the topic name. You can define the topic names or separate the topics by this /. Using this topic name, you can subscribe to it or even have another client in here publishing to the same topic. As we said, we can have many to one, one to many, and one to one. So this, in our case, we have one publisher to many subscribers. The broker can be an embedded system using maybe the Raspberry Pi, and then you have the server IP of that Raspberry Pi with some authentication. Could be an application, mobile application using something called Bahu or Coco or Kuka Mqtt. I don't know how to pronounce it, to be honest. This Bahu is used for Android, and this one is used for the iOS devices. A website using Bahu. If you don't know Bahu, you need to go and look for it. It is the implementation of Mqtt in different programming languages, maybe Python, Java, JavaScript, C, C++ for embedded systems, and so on, even for Android. So, we have before going to Node-RED, do we have any questions up to now? If we have any question, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
No question, Mr. Clear.
Yeah. Go ahead. No questions, you say. Okay. So let's go to see. Yes. Oh, no question. Okay. So let's go and see what is this Node-RED. Node-RED is actually a programming tool for wiring together hardware devices, APIs, and online services in a new, interesting way. The way that Node-RED is working, actually, the nodes in the Node-RED or maybe the flows are written in JavaScript language, but the good thing about it is that you need no prior knowledge to JavaScript scripting if you want to use the simple thing or simple things made in Node-RED. It can be run in different ways, locally on your laptop or maybe in the cloud using Amazon Web Services, Azure, Microsoft Azure, or IBM Cloud, or maybe a device like Raspberry Pi, like embedded, or maybe Android and application, and so on. The model used in today's session, we'll have an Mqtt client. In our case, is going to be our Node-RED.
انك تجاوب على تشيك.
What?
في فكرة في الموضوع.
Hello? Muhammad, can you mute yourself, please? Okay. You see, we'll have our Mqtt client in Node-RED. It is going to be sending messages like on or off. Our broker is not going to be a Raspberry Pi, it's going to be a Mosquito server that is free and available to anyone to use. And the message received to our second client, which is the subscriber, is going to take that message, turn the LED on or turn it off. And also the same client is going to send information instead of a temperature and the humidity. We'll send the voltage information read by the potentiometer to our Mosquito, and this node client is going to subscribe to it and just show it to the screen. And I will show you how to do all of that using Node-RED or even using some mobile application. At the end, we'll make you control things like the LED and read the value from your laptop or your phone. So to start off, I'll ask Amina to share her screen. I want to show you the demo of what to expect at the end, and then I will go step by step of how to do it. Prepare your laptops and your phones to follow these steps, and then at the end I will go for the coding bot and show you how things are working and how things are being controlled. Then we'll give you the screen sharing ability. All right. Um, Up to now, do we have any questions? Okay. Um, I'll ask Amina. I'm making you the host. Amina, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I just need a few moments.
Okay, take your time. And at the same time, I will be also recording a video in front of you to show you in action what is really happening. I have the chip programmed and connected in my laptop. I don't know if we have an ability to. I'll be sending the video to the WhatsApp group. Let me stop sharing. Don't forget, guys, if you have any question, you may leave it in the chat session. At the end, we'll also have the Q&A session. And in between, we'll try to take your questions to make the session more interactive.
If you can hear me, please say something.
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I'm trying to share my screen, but it's not working.
I made you the host in the other account. Go to that account and change it, please.
Okay.
يا جماعة في حد عم بيحكي ولا شو الوضع؟
Yeah, sorry, but we're trying to connect to Amina's laptop. Sorry for that.
Okay, sorry.
I hope everybody can see.
Yes, it's clear.
Okay. All right, so we're using Node-RED, right? One second. And just a very small demonstration. Mr. Bekawi will explain a lot more than I will here, but there's a series of buttons on and off. They're connected to LED lights. And once I click deploy, which should be available here. I don't know what happened. Yes, can you see that this button on and off is shown over here, on and off. Okay, once I click on, it controls it remotely. Same thing with off. More details will be explained. This is just a very simple demonstration. Yes, so if you can pick it up from here. Bekawi.
Yes, can you give me the host so I can share my screen? Amina, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Give me 1 second.
Okay, take your time. All right. So right now I'll start with the helping you out to install the Node-RED on your laptop. Please get your laptops ready and do the following things. First of all, type in Node.js. Go to this site, Node.js, and make sure you download this version of it, 12.16.3, and install it also on your laptop. And then go to something called Node-RED. Node-RED.org. Go in here. Shall I wait or just keep going? So for you not to be lost.
What should we do in Node-RED?
Yeah, after you install the Node.js, you need to have this installed and finished. You go to Node-RED, you see this Get Started button, you click on it, then you need to use the Run Locally, Getting Started. You can see here on a device, you can have it on Raspberry Pi, Android, maybe interfacing with Arduino, and you have some cloud applications, but we are going to use that in our laptop. So we go to getting started in this button, again running locally. Okay, if you have your node.js installed and ready, you just copy this code starting from npm. You don't use sudo, you only use npm up to the end. You copy this and you open your cmd command. Let me share the screen with you. Wait, cmd. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, now you go here and just paste this code. Use the npm without using, if you are using Windows. If you are using Linux, then maybe you can use the sudo. But if you are using Windows, then use npm install up to the end. Hit enter and let it finish to the end. If it was finished, then you need to be able to access this Node-RED by typing this simple command, node-red, and when you hit enter, everything will be connecting. The only thing that you need from all of this information is to I'm having an error. Let me try again. Okay, wait for me. Let me fix this up. Because I think I'm running this somewhere else, so I need to close it first. Okay, let me get back to this Node-RED. Okay. All right, now everything is fine. So the only information you need is this one, server now running at HTTP and this number. You copy this number. Okay, is there anyone who reached this point? Or shall I wait for you to finish? Okay, I need to wait. All right, I'm waiting, guys. Tell me whenever you finish. Okay, in order not to waste time, for those who want to use their mobile application, I'm using an Android device. I'll show you the program. Okay, can you see the application? Sorry, the phone information. Okay. Go to your Google Play and just type in Mqtt dashboard and search. This is the application that we are going to be using, Mqtt dashboard. This is the one. You just install it, and then I will go for the implementation and how to do it when we finish the Node-RED thing. Okay. So Let's go back and share that thing. I'm waiting for a couple of minutes for those to finish.
Can you repeat after we download Red Node? What should we do?
Okay, if you installed Node-RED correctly, you just simply need to type in this command, node-red, and hit enter. You should be able to see these information. Could you see it?
No, it's still installing. Just give me a sec.
Okay. Anyone has done it?
I did it, but they gave me something else.
What do you mean by something else? Could you see this server now running at something? Don't worry about anything else. No. What do you
No. It told me in the first line error cannot find model, and then they give me 19M at function modulus.
Are you sure you waited for it to install using this the npm install command up to the end?
I think I'm gonna install it again, maybe.
Did you check the syntax? Maybe you use something else. Did you check it is this way? NODE-red, this way, all in small. Did you do it this way or not?
Yes, the same.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna maybe install it again.
Did you make sure that Node.js is 12.16.3, the version? Because not all versions are supported. So in my case, Node.js is JS 12.16.3.
12.16.3, yeah, same as mine.
Try to install it again using the same command. Try not to use the sudo command. Use only npm and continue to the end. Also, those who are trying to use their phones, let us know if you download the application. Okay, we have some people seeing it. Okay, take a copy of your server in this way up to from a HTTP to the end. Just use Control-C, or maybe I think you can use the right-click copy. No, you can't. Just highlight this information and just say Control-C. Okay, I'm moving on, guys. When you go and paste it, hit enter, you should be able to see this screen, Node-RED. Without these things could be, this one could be empty. Could you see it, guys, for those who has done it? Okay. If you see this, that means you are almost ready. You need only to go to this button and go to Manage Palette. Click on Manage Palette. You'll see Install. And this install, you need to search for something called Dashboard. And go to this Node-Red Dashboard. Install this one. You see this name? Install it in here. And tell me if you finish or if you see it. Anyone seeing this?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I just finished my download. What is the second step?
Okay, whenever you finish downloading using the npm install, go to your command line. Let me share the screen again. Use the cmd, you know it. If you don't, use your search in Windows and type in cmd, and you will be in this window. You just simply type in node-red in this way. Do you see it?
Mhm.
When you hit enter, you should be able to see server running at something. Could you see it?
Yes.
Okay, take this information from HTTP to the end, Control C to copy it,
Mhm.
and then go to your Google Chrome. Wait a bit. Go here and just paste it. When you paste it and hit enter, you should be seeing this window. Did you see it? Something similar to this.
Can you start the beginning, please? Because my internet is a problem.
Okay, did you run it on your command prompt, CMD, the black screen?
Yes, I see the command screen.
Okay, and you got the information saying HTTP, something similar to this one, HTTP number, and then at the end.
I just opened the Node.js now, and what I'm going to type first.
You downloaded Node.js, this one?
Yeah.
Okay, go to this side, copy from npm to the end, this in blue.
Okay.
Copy this and type it in your command prompt. Okay, this is going to take a while. Just hit enter and keep following. If you have any other questions, I will get back to you. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so for those who has downloaded these things, and also if you install the dashboard, when you scroll down to the end, you should see this dashboard. If you didn't, report to me, please. Then we simply take two buttons this way. I have them already. And also we use this text one in here, and I also have it. And then go to the section where it says a network. You have something called MQTT-N and MQTT-out. This MQTT-N actually is going to subscribe, to be the subscriber of any topic you define, and this is going to be the publisher of the topic. So let's start by defining the needed information, or declaring the needed variables for this MQTT out and MQTT in. But before doing that, I will go to the Mosquito, our broker. Mosquito.
So it gives error.
What do you say?
It gives error every time I try to copy this.
Send the error in the WhatsApp and I will check it. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, if we go to the Eclipse mosquito.org, it's actually under the Eclipse Foundation. We can go to something called test. You can have your own instance of Mosquito running in minutes, but to make testing even easier, Mosquito project runs at a test server at this site. If you click on this site, you can find the ports that you can use. I'll show you why do we need some ports and all of that. But basically, this is going to be running on TCP/IP. If you attended the first class or the first workshop, then you will know what a port is. But in our case, we are going to be using this 1883, the unencrypted MQTT. Okay. First, we need to copy this link and go back to our Node-RED. And the MQTT before this is the MQTT out. I just changed the name to a button state, okay? And this MQTT out, you go to the server side and hit this edit button. You can give it a name. This is the server we just copied. And the port we said it's going to be 1883, okay? If you are following me, please do these things. Try not to type in any client ID because this is going to be slowing down the communication. So just leave it as they are going to auto-generate it. You just copy that website server and the port to be 1883. The security use no username or password because it is unencrypted server. And in the messages, we can assign a new topic called ESP status. Whenever the birth message, whenever the client is connected, then we send something, a message, and this message is just saying online. Whenever the client is disconnected, then we say offline, and the well message, when it is disconnected unexpectedly, then we send something called disconnected. Okay, and I will show you these in action in the Arduino later on. And then just hit update. This update actually will be for both. Like if I did this, any addition in here, it will be also transferred to the second MQTT. So in this topic, we say this is going to be a publishing or MQTT out, meaning it is going to be publishing to a specific topic. I just used a topic called ESP toggle bin. You can name it whatever you want, but this is the one I will be using in the Arduino coding. We have something called the quality of service. This quality of service could be 0, 1, or 2. 0 means send the message in the air and don't care if it is get received or not. We don't need something called acknowledgement. If you are a computer engineer, you know what this means. But if you use the number 1, then that means send the message at least once, meaning you will have some acknowledgements, but you can send it multiple times. Or if you use the 2, that means you make sure to send it exactly once. You send the message exactly once. If you are not familiar with communication, then this won't make sense to you. But this actually is going to be application specific. For us, as a normal human, we will be saying that maybe sending the message exactly once is going to be the best option, but this is going to be the slowest option, as you are going to make sure that the message is sent before you go any further in the coding. Okay, so I'm just using the quality of service 2 and retaining the message. That means if it is set to true, any update to the message is going to be sent immediately. Okay, and then I named this tag to be the button state, which was in here MQTT out. So that's it. This is how I set my MQTT in Node-RED. The same thing is going to happen on this side. If I go here, I'll find also the same information in here, same messages, everything. So I don't need to do anything in here except for the topic, because this is going to be the subscribed topic. We will use the ESP/voltage because I'm going to be displaying the voltage topic. Same quality of service and everything to default, then done. Okay, up to now, do we have any questions? Or anyone has followed me to do all of these steps before we move on? Muhammad Mahdi, if you are in Node-RED, then you go to the manage palette in here, go to install, type in dashboard, make sure you install Node-RED dashboard, this one, get it installed, and then at the end you'll see it here, dashboard, this blue ones. Then you take 2 buttons from here and then a single text from here, and in the network session you get MQTT in and MQTT out. This MQTT in is going to be our subscribing node, and MQTT out is going to be the publishing node. Okay. Let me check if we have any other questions. Okay, so I'm moving on to the buttons. Before we go to the buttons, actually, we need to go to this dashboard in order to set it up. We can use some information here, like the title to be shown. We can show the title bar or not. The side menu, we can use this as well. We can use different things in here, the date, all of that. The theme, you can use it to dark, light, or custom thing. You can change the color. The font, actually, you can also do it. But we are not interested in all of that. We are interested to add these tabs, to click on it and just send the messages. So in your case, you will have no tab in here added. You simply go and add the tab from this side. If you did, then go to the button tag. In this button, go to this edit. You name it whatever you want and assign the tab you have just created. You can adjust all of these. This is the only thing you need to know. The label to be displayed on the button itself is going to be on, okay? And then the payload. This payload is actually the message to be sent, okay? You can use the type of this payload. I only used Boolean, but at the end, you will see also in the Arduino coding, this is going to be in ASCII code format. If you are familiar, if you have attended the last session, you would know the JSON format. You can also use that, and maybe there's some modifications in the Arduino code to use the JSON, but as for now, I'm going to be using only the Boolean, and this Boolean is going to be set to true. Whenever I hit the button on, it will make the LED on and keep going. So the topic to be publishing to is going to be the same topic we assign in Arduino code, which is ESP toggle bin. This is the things these are the things needed to define the on button. Same, everything is same for the off button, only the difference is going to be the false instead of true. Okay, so now we have set these on and off buttons. We'll see them as you have seen them in the demo where Amina showed you. This text actually is going to get the readings of the voltage we send by Arduino and then display it on screen, okay? So again, you need to assign this, maybe this is going to be the voltage. You assign it to one of the tabs you have and then just update. You label it whatever you want. This label is going to be the one shown in here. So I'd say voltage, maybe voltage level. Keep this format the same. This is by default is written message.payload in these curly brackets. You can use whatever you want, the layout, whatever layout you want. I'm using this one and then just hit done. So right now we have done all of these definitions and declarations. Just hit the button deploy and just wait for it. Is there anyone who is following me and doing these steps? Send in the chat, please. Okay, repeating the tab things. Just wait for it to deploy and I will show you. Don't worry, guys. If you also having problems to follow along, I'll just at the end I will show you everything from the beginning, or if you are missing some steps, I'll tell you at the end. Don't worry. Just wait for it. It's taking a bit of time. This is not not usual. Muhammad, you can add the Mosquito to the MQTT, to the inside of the MQTT. When you double click on the MQTT in or out, you'll find something called server. Go to the edit button. You'll find something like a pin. Use that one to paste your server. It has taken a bit of time for me to deploy. Let me just rerun Node-RED. Okay. Muhammad, if you didn't get me, this is the server. When you double click on MQTT, go to this pin, and then in the server, you paste test.mosquito.org and the port specified. Okay, the only modification. Okay, now we deploy again. Now you see that we are connected. This is the status. We are connected. Then we can go to dashboard. To see the dashboard, we just click on this one, and here's our dashboard. Right now, I'm connected to my. I'm connected to Arduino is actually connected and sending the values. I'm trying to adjust the potentiometer, which is the voltage level, and as you can see, it is changing in here. The maximum I can reach is 3.3. This is my maximum voltage level, and then going back up to 0, you can see how fast this is being done. And if I hit on, the LED goes on and the LED goes off. If I hit the button off, I'll maybe I need to share the screen, but this is going to be a bit difficult of my phone. Okay. Hang on. Okay. Let me go to my camera. I hope you can see. You can see this. Now, if I hit on, oops. Okay. I think you can see now. If I hit on, the LED should go on. Okay, it wasn't connected well. Off should go off. On again. It should go on, and then, sorry, when I adjust the voltage level, you can see it is going up. You see? Okay. All right. Is there anyone who has done this before we move on to the mobile application thing? Okay, then I'll be going for the application. If you use Android, let me share the screen with you. This one. Okay, now I'm in inside the application. Okay, in the brokers, if it was the first time for you to use a broker, then you will have to add a broker. But I have one in here as a test. Then I'll just use a new one. The broker name could be anything. I'm calling it again test one maybe. This TCP has to be your server, which is the Mosquito thing. Use HTTP and then test.mosquito.org, and this port is 1883. Okay, you don't need to change this one. Broker protection, use SSL, no need. Quality of service is 2, and use clean connection is enabled. That's it. Is there anyone doing this with me right now? Leave that in the session, please. Okay, Ahmed, did you type in all of this information? At least the server name, the port, and the quality of service to be 2. Shall I move on? Okay. Let me know when you finish.
I took a screenshot and I sent it to the group just in case anybody still needs to see these details later on.
Yeah, that's good actually. Thank you. Okay, then I'm
No
moving
worries.
on since this one is in the group. You just hit the save button and then you have this test one. Okay. Now you go. I need to change this. Let me just go to test one. Okay, that's let me delete this one. Okay. So if you typed in the Mosquito server, you need to be able to connect. I think we need to remove this HTTP thing. Let me change it. Save it, go back again. Okay, now we are connected. Make sure the HTTP thing is not is being deleted. Only use test. Okay, and then if everything is okay, you'll see this screen. You have this add button, and when you go to standard, then you can use this button format. And this button, you just give it a name. I will call it on. Okay, the published topic, we said it's going to be ESP toggle pin. Enable publishing. Quality of service is 2. Retain the message. Value to be sent, we said it's going to be a true. Okay, this is on the on. You can change the shape of it. Maybe I'll show this as an LED. Save it. If you want to paint it, you can paint it. Also, you can use the color for this one. And then save. Then, okay. Then you'll have this button. And then you go, there's something wrong maybe with the connection. And then you add a new button again. Maybe I'll just call it off. The same published topic. and the bin, enable publishing quality of service 2, retain the message. The value to be sent is false, and just change these to seem like an LED and maybe off this way. Okay. Hello. It seems there's something wrong with the internet connection. Let me connect to Wi-Fi. Oops. Let me go to the server. And okay, this solves it. And the value is false. Where's that save button? Is there anyone experiencing the same connection problem? Okay, it could be from my internet connection. Okay. Can you use the on button and off in the same information? Sorry for that, guys, but it seems the application having some problems. Yeah, for sure there's a problem in the. Okay. Can you switch on and off the LED? I want to see this in action. Okay, do the off button at least, because it's already on in my case here. Did you make sure that you typed let me share this screen with you. My phone is having a. Okay, did you make sure that the published topic is this one, ESP toggle bin, exactly the same? Yeah, ESP toggle bin, and make sure the value to be sent is TRUE in this exact form, small, all of them to be small. Sorry, for false, this way, false, FALSE, all in small. This is the off button, and this is the on button. Okay, press on the off button. Sorry guys, I'm checking the chat if you are following. Yeah, maybe. Okay, we'll leave this to the end. Let's now go for Arduino to start coding, okay? Let me share the screen. Okay. Again, as always, we'll start from scratch. Let me save this in the desktop and say Mqtt. First of all, we need two libraries. One of them is basically connecting the ESP to Wi-Fi, and the second one is to have the Mqtt client or the publisher subscriber client. And those are, you know it, ESP8266 Wi-Fi.h. And the second one is actually called the pub sub client or publisher subscriber client.h. Okay. First of all, we need to define our ports. In my case, I'm having an LED and a potentiometer. LED to D1. Oops. And potentiometer to A0. And then we define our Wi-Fi credentials. And those are the character arrays. The SSID is equal to, this is my Wi-Fi credentials, you can use yours. And the password is equal to Q2020, sorry, oops, at 2020. Then we define the Mqtt credentials, I call it. Okay. First of all, we need the broker or the server. We need the port. We need the client ID. What else we need? Yeah, mostly these are the things. And we need also the client itself. So for that, they have to be of a type const char and just call it the ID. The ID could be anything. I'm calling it Aquabotics. And our server is going to be our Mosquito server, test.mosquito.org. And the port is going to be 1883. What else? We say the ID of the client, the server, and its port. These are the ones I'm remembering. Let me continue and see if we need anything else. We'll come back to this. We need to define our Wi-Fi client, because this Wi-Fi client is used by the pub sub client, and I just call it Wi-Fi. And then we define the pub sub client. I call it client. I pass in the server information, the port, and a callback function. If you attended last time, then you know what a callback function is. But if you don't, this callback function is going to be called whenever we receive messages. Okay, and what to do with these messages whenever we receive something. And this is going to be running in the background at the same time, even if you are doing something else. Whenever you receive a new message, you will do something, okay? So we have this callback function, and at the end, the Wi-Fi client we have just created. So let us go and define this callback function. The callback function is going to take 3 parameters. One of them is the topic, the other one is the message itself, and the third one is going to be the length of the message sent. The topic is going to be of type character array. I simply call it topic, and the second one is going to be the message itself, but it is going to be of type byte, and this is the payload, and an unsigned integer for the length. Okay, let me copy all of that to define what this function is going to do whenever we receive a message. Okay, so now suppose that we have received the message from any client, maybe the client, the application that Amina is running, or maybe the application I'm running on Node-RED in my laptop. So whatever message we receive, we need to see these messages and just do something with them. So let us first use the serial.print to know that we are receiving some messages. I will say just message is, message maybe from, and then the topic, the topic name, and then equals, and then I'll use a for loop because we have the payload as an array, and it's going to be an ASCII code. That's why we're using the byte. It's going to be an ASCII code, so we can read this in a loop, in a for loop. And I is equal to 0, I is less than length plus 1. Okay, then I plus plus. In this loop, we only going to print the payload information line by line, each one received in every line. So for now, I can tell you that the payload information, the first parameter of this payload information is going to be 102 for the false statement and 116 for the true statement. How did I know that? Let me show you what an ASCII code is. Okay, ASCII code. Okay, so if you can see in this side, if you look for the character F, its corresponding ASCII code in decimal is going to be 102. And for true, the first letter is T, and this is corresponding to 116. This is the information being read from. Let me go back to the code again. Okay, so now we know that 102 is going to be for false, and 116 for true. By the way, guys, there is someone controlling the LED in my end. There's someone is turning on the LED and turning off. I don't know who he is, but good job that you are doing well. So if the payload, the first content of my payload is the first one is equal to 102, that means it's a false. Then let me turn off the LED using the digital write method, LED, and just either use the false or the low. Both work well with Arduino. And then if my payload, again, the first content of my payload is 116, this means it is for the true part. And then we digital write the LED to high. Okay, so whenever the payload, the first content of the payload is going to be 102, that means it's false, which is the letter F. I will just simply go and type in low, give turn off the LED, and whenever it is 116, that means it's true, starting with T. I'll just pass this information to the LED and just turn it on. Okay, so we have done this callback function. Whatever we will be, whenever we receive a message, this function is going to be called. Check this message and just print it out, and then check if the first one is 102, then turn off the LED. If it is 116, then turn on the LED. So let us go and define some parameters. First of all, we will define our serial connection. Oops. Using the begin method. Okay. And then we can use the Wi-Fi.begin and pass in the SSID and the password. And again, if you are familiar with Wi-Fi connectivity, or maybe you attended last sessions, then we need to check for the connection of our Wi-Fi before we move on into the code. So we check that by using the method called status, Wi-Fi.status. If it is not equal to well connected, then we simply give a small delay of half a second, and then just print some periods unless we connect it. After this loop, if we are connected, then let us know by printing a message saying, connected to Wi-Fi. And then we need our modes, our pins to be configured for the LED as an output, for the potentiometer as an input. And we simply use the method called pin mode. LED is going to be an output. And again, pin mode. The potentiometer is going to be as an input. Okay. So right now, we configured everything needed. We need also to see how to subscribe to topics and how to publish to these topics. First of all, let us go in the loop and see what we can do. First of all, I need to make sure before I go any further that I am connected to the client. That the client is connected to the server or the broker. Then I can use an if statement, if condition, to check if the client is connected. If the client is not connected, then I need to reconnect. And I need to use this reconnect function. I will define this reconnect function, but it has to be written in this same way when you see it in orange, reconnect. Otherwise, you won't be able to do it. But else, if the client is connected, then I'll use the method called client.loop to loop for any processing needed. And then after this client.loop, here we will start our publishing. We start publishing messages. Okay, so yeah, now we need some definitions in the Mqtt credentials, and those definitions are going to be the publishing topic and the subscribing topic. The publishing topic in our Arduino, it is going to be publishing the information read, or the voltage maybe read by the ADC. So I simply call it a pub topic. Publishing topic is equal to, this is going to be ESP voltage. Okay, and we define another character called the sub topic, and that is equal to ESP toggle. Sorry guys, toggle pin. If you remember, we have used this ESP toggle pin in the Mqtt out, and MQTT in we used ESP voltage. So that means MQTT in is going to be subscribing to this and publishing to this in the MQTT out. And in this case, in our case, in Arduino, it's going to be a bit different. Okay. We have another topic that is the one I told you. It's going to be the status topic, where we have seen that in the node grid. I'll show you also in a bit. I'll just call it status topic, and this is equal to ESP status, and that's it. Okay, so for publishing messages, first of all, I want to create a new variable and call it voltage. And this voltage is going to be equal to the information read by the potentiometer multiplied by electrical engineers knows what how the analog to digital conversion is being done. But in order to convert it to a real voltage, then you use the voltage level you are giving to your potentiometer. In my case, I'm giving it 3.3 volts, and you divide it by your accuracy or the resolution of your analog to digital converter. And in my case, it is 10 bits. 10 bits, that means 2 to power 10, and that is equal to 1024. Okay. This voltage, I want it to be sent or published, but before doing that, unfortunately, we cannot use string messages to send this information, as the publish method is using a character array. So we go back again for Mqtt credentials. We define a constant integer and just call it the buffer size, and give it the size of 50 maybe. And then we define a character array called message with this buffer size. Okay. We need to add to this message some information, like we need to add the voltage, this float format voltage. So we use the function called sprintf. The first parameter is going to be the message itself and the format. You can also add some text in here before it, but I want only to see the number being sent, because in the dashboard I can use the value called the label to be called voltage and all of that. And then we combine this with the voltage values. At the end, we just called a method called client.publish, and we pass the pub topic, the topic to be published to, and then just the message. Okay, that was a bit long, I know, but it's super easy. You all know how to connect to Wi-Fi. We know that we have these pin modes to be defined as an output or as an input or anything. We know that this callback is going to be called whenever the message is received. Whenever the message is received, we just print this message up to this point. And whenever the message, the first content of the message is going to be 102, we turn off the LED. If it is 116, we turn on the LED. We have this client as the PubSub client. We have the Wi-Fi client and all the definitions needed. So let's try to see what this reconnect thing or function is going to do for us. Also, we need to see, up to now we are publishing messages, but we are not subscribing to any topics. So let us see the importance of this reconnect function. So we need to call it as the way it is being shown to you. Okay. It is taking no parameter and it is of type void. First of all, if there is an issue with connecting to the server, it could be because of the Wi-Fi connection. So we repeat the same thing. We take this loop and repeat it inside this function before we go any further. Okay. Then we use another while loop and check if the client is still not connected, which is the case because we have checked if the client is not connected, go to reconnect, connect to Wi-Fi and check. If the client is still not connected, do the following. I'll have two parameters in the while loop, if and else statement. If something, do something, and else do another thing. And the else, that means I am having a failure connecting to the server. I need to see what type of failure I'm experiencing. So let me use the serial.print line and say failed and state is equal to. We have something called client.state. I'll show you in a minute the API for this. Then we use what type of state are we in. And client.state. And that's it. This is in the case of the failure. But if the in the case of connecting, now we want to connect to the server, we use the method client.connect, and then we pass the ID we have created. Which ID is it? Let me remind you. It is this one. In the Mqtt Credentials, I'm using this Aquabotics. Could be anything. You can choose this to be anything, okay? However, this Wi-Fi credentials has to be exactly matching your Wi-Fi informations, okay? So if client.connect ID, if we are being able to connect to this server, then let us subscribe. First, let us print something that we are connected. So maybe I would say connected to broker, or the server, and whatever it is, and then just subscribe to the topic we want, and then say client.subscribe, and you pass the topic, which is the subtopic. Right now, I'm not going to be subscribing to the other topic, which is the status topic. So let us upload this code and see everything in action. This is the whole code for this. If you have any question before we go any further, let me know, or unmute and just say your question, please. And I will make this uploading while you decide on your questions. Let me share the whole screen with you and to see the comport. What does it say? Oops. Sorry for that typo. Oh, I'm doing it again. Okay, do that again. After it is done uploading, let us see what we see. Trying to connect to Wi-Fi in this loop. Okay, now we are connected to Wi-Fi, connected to broker. Then we got the message from broker, which is 102. And the other information, this is the first payload message, and it is 102. This is the first letter in false statement, F-A-L-S-E, and maybe a third one that means something. We can look for these codes and see what exactly the message is. I'd like to ask any of you who had successfully done the implementation either using Node-RED or using the application, just turn on the LED to see if we see the message again or not. Okay, there's someone who has pressed this one and we can see 116. This is the first part of it. Okay, there's a lot of messages. So we have good amount of people who has done this. Okay, 102. We are seeing this, and actually in my case, I'm seeing the LED turning on and off. Okay, so right now we have seen all of that in action. Let us go and see the client.status. Okay, sorry, the status topic, this one, and we want to see this status topic. If we go back to Node-RED, if we go again to this server in the edit part, if we go to these messages, ESP/status is the topic. Whenever we have a birth message, we should receive this online, and if it is disconnecting, then we should see offline, and if it is unexpectedly disconnected, then we should see something called disconnected. Okay, so we go back again to Arduino. The only change we need to make is go here and just say client.subscribe and use the status topic. That's it. Again, we will be checking, displaying all of these messages. Okay, let me upload this, and while it is uploading, I'll go to ASCII converter. Okay, so we can get these the information read by Arduino. Okay, let me take this board. You see both, right? So this ESP status, we are starting with 79. If I type in 79, the first letter is O. If I go to the second one, it is 78. It is N. If I go to the third one, it is 76. It is L. If I go to 73, that means ONL, then 73 I, then 78 again, should be N, and then 69, that should be E, and then the last one, maybe a confirmation, 57, or end character. This is 9, on line 9. This is garbage value, we don't need it. So you see that ESP status, we have it to be online. That means we are connected. But if I go to Node-RED, I just deploy again. Let me check. Please, guys, wait. Don't try to send any messages. If I hit the deploy again, this is the online message. This could be the offline message and then the online message. Let us go to the ASCII converter and check all of that. 79 we know it's an O. Yeah, 79 is an O. But if we use 70, it's an F. We have it multiple times, O, F, F. And then 76 is going to be L, awful. And then 3, I. And then 8 is going to be N. And then 69 is going to be E. That means this is offline message being read, and then this online message again. Okay. So by this, by the end of this session, actually, you are now able to see how things are implemented in the industry using the MQTT and Node-RED also. Actually, this Node-RED is so powerful, not only for MQTT, is powerful for other things as well. You can check all of that. You can even come to this function thing. If you are a good programmer in JavaScript, you can do whatever you want in here, but there is, I guess, some small limitation to the ability that JavaScript has. Try to have a look at these things. I will also share some important resources with you. So please note that this is going to be your first step to be taken in your IoT projects. I hope you found this joyful and useful. Now we will go for the session where you will be controlling the things, and we may share some videos on our WhatsApp group. After that, we'll take the Q&A session, if you have any. Oops, there's something wrong. Okay. I'll pass for to Amina. I'll ask Amina to have the talk, please, for the Q&A session.
Yes, I think somebody already asked in the WhatsApp group.
Okay. What is it?
His name is Ersin.
Let me check.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me check the error again. Ersin, I guess your error is being that way because of your internet connection, because there's a timeout. Make sure you have a strong internet connection before you download
Because
it.
of my internet connection.
What you said?
So it's because of my internet connection.
It could be. It doesn't have to be, but it could be because it is saying timeout. Let me. And also, I think you are going to the Windows System 32, but in my case, it's in your users and then your username, and let me share the screen with you. Okay, and here you are doing that in the Windows directory, but I'm using the users and then my name, my user. Try to go to that folder first. And by the way, guys, who was the one successfully controlling the LED? Ersan, any news?
Excuse me.
Yeah, any news? Did you try it?
I'm trying to.
Okay. Also, if you want me to go over anything again, maybe I was fast a bit, let me know so I explain it again, explain it more.
Ahmed is asking if it's blinking, your LED.
Do it again, Ahmed. Right now it is on. Now it is off, on, off, on. Okay, right now it's blinking. I can share the video with you also in the group. Ahmed, try to do that again, blinking thing again. Okay, we have it. Do you want me to go over anything again while Ersin is trying to solve his issue? Node-RED or decode, maybe?
Does anybody have any errors that they are stuck at or they don't know how to solve? All right, I think once everybody has a chance to re-watch this video and try it out on their own, then please don't hesitate to text on the group if you have anything that you want to test. Maybe ask Bekawi if he can check that your steps are working properly. I'm going to ask one last time if anybody has any questions, and we'll wrap up.
Hello?
Yes,
Hello, Abdulrahman.
yes.
Yeah, I had a question.
Okay, go ahead.
So, could you talk a little bit about the security of systems like these? For example, the Mosquito server that we connected 1883, it said unencrypted.
Yeah.
So can you talk a little bit about the security of these setups and how we can make them more secure or something like that?
Okay, sure thing. If we go back to Mosquito.org again, or maybe just the test, the one we have used. If you scroll down here, if you go and see, please do not publish anything sensitive. Anybody could be listening. So as you can see that any one of you could go and grab this port with the exact publish topic or subscribe topic. You could even control the LEDs from your side. So I'm using this Mosquito because it's free and it can be good for the explanation. But what I would do in my IoT application, I would go to Node-RED, okay, and just have a Raspberry Pi, run everything on that Raspberry Pi with the all the authentication and all of that. But unfortunately, I'm not having a Raspberry Pi, so that's why I couldn't do it. But using the Mosquito itself, if you go to Mosquito, you can, I think, you can also download this Mosquito on your Raspberry Pi, where you'll have different things in here. Download and security is highly portable and available for a wide range of platforms. Use the security page to find out how to report something. You can read all of these things. This is if you want to download this Mosquito into your Raspberry Pi, but I'm using now the test.mosquito.org because it is available for everyone. But it's not safe at this time. You need to have your own server with your own authentication. Either your server could be a client, a website. Let me show you Bahu, the one I told you about in the beginning. Yeah, this one, Eclipse Bahu. In the Eclipse Bahu, the components, you could have C, C++, Java, Android, JavaScript, Python. You can have all of these for MQTT. So if you are a web programmer, you can use Python for that. You can use JavaScript, and you can make your website be the. You can add the authentication process to your website itself, or maybe if you want, you can use the Android thing, Android service. and make the authentication in your Android application. If you know how to program these applications, maybe the applications, the website, whatever it is, you know how to add this authentication to your application. But right now, as of now, the test.mosquito is not safe at all. It's not secure.
All right, that's great. Another thing I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
So this, the number of publishers and the number of
Subscribers.
yeah, subscribers.
Okay.
If we increase these, does it have any sort of effect on the performance of this network or this connection?
I think it depends on the broker itself. Like maybe if your broker is the Raspberry Pi, you need to look for your implementation for the limitation of your device. In our case, the test Mosquito is open for everyone, and for sure it has a large database inside of it. So I don't think this will be a problem. But if you are going to use your Raspberry Pi, then you need to know your database and your application, if it is going to hold this information for long or no. So for sure there will be some effects if we use more publishers and more subscribers, but in the dependency, sorry, of your device limitation. But in theory, you can have many publishers and many subscribers to the same node. As you can see, even in this application, we had my node thread, and here is controlling the device. Also, some of you who has done this correctly. Also, my application was also connected to it. Amina's application and also Amina's phone as well. All of those were connected to the same point and publishing and subscribing to the topic from the same point. But for sure, this will be an effect if you are using your own device and your own server. It's like the limitation of your server. If your server can do this and the internet connection in there can do this, then yeah, it could be possible.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, for hosting this thing.
You're welcome.
Really good. Thanks.
You're welcome. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It gives error again.
Yeah, what does it say?
Unexpected end of JSON input while parsing near 3 dots signature.
Can you share a photo of it?
Yeah, sure. I'm going to send it to WhatsApp.
Okay. Actually, your error, we need to look for that error. Maybe you have some system files, some corrupted system files, or maybe you need to reinstall your node.js.
Okay, thank you for everything.
Check for this, and if you have anything else, you can send me on WhatsApp, okay?
Okay, thank you so much for hosting this for this season.
You're welcome.
Okay, then, if nobody else has anything to add, this marks the end. I would like to thank everybody for their time. And one last thing is we're going to send a survey later just to ask what you thought about this course. What did you like and what did you not like? There's going to be no names. It's going to be anonymous, so feel free to share your true opinion. Once again, thank you a lot for your time. I hope you learned something that you can apply. And if you want to review anything, all of these recordings will be on the website. We're going to share how you can access the website later on, as well as the source code and any other useful resources. Thank you everybody for your time and have a good night.
Thank you so much, Amina. Thank you all for having this